Hi, Evelyn from Awesome Training, and I'm going to talk about our Minding Autistic Minds Conference, which is coming up really soon. Only 2 weeks away. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. Couple of things I wanted to answer because we're getting a lot of inquiries. Yes, if you buy an online ticket, you would also get access to the recording. We're actually including a recording of the main presentations with every ticket. So if you're coming in person, you'll also get a recording of the main presentations. We're not recording the workshops because we just want it to be a space where people can interact and ask questions freely without being worried about being recorded. CPD recognition from the IACP, if people are inquiring about that. And yes, you will get a certificate of attendance. But more importantly, why is this conference happening and why are we all so excited about it? It's happening because unfortunately, autistic people are suffering. Our stats for anxiety are about 80% of us experience anxiety, about 60% of us depression, and about 36% of us PTSD. They're shocking stats, and under those stats is a community of people who need to live better lives and deserve to live better lives. And we need to make a collective effort to create a better world for autistic people. And that's what our conference is about. It's focusing on mental health. And we have some fantastic presentations, some fantastic presenters. I suppose it's just good to mention, we don't have like a headline or keynote speaker because we're doing this autistically, and how many of us interpret the world is in a non-hierarchical way. So all of our speakers are equal because we're doing this autistically. So if you want to come along, Day 1 is for autistic adults, for people working with autistic adults, parents of autistic adults. If you're in HR, management, therapy, education settings, if you want to know more about autistic people, and our mental health, then come along. Day 2 is the 25th of April, and that's focusing on the well-being and mental health of our autistic children and young people. So just a little bit about Day 1. We have I'll be opening and saying hello and setting the scene, hopefully, for the conference. And then I'll be followed by Owen Stevens. So you might already be familiar with Owen. Owen is an autistic psychotherapist, and Owen will be talking about autistic mental health and well-being towards a clearer vision and new language. And then Katie Curley is an occupational therapist. Katie runs Horizons Therapy, and Katie will be talking about autistic advocacy, the collective strength of allies. That advocating cannot always be the job of the autistic person to educate everybody and advocate for our needs. It's a collective effort. Then we'll have our morning break, and then we'll have workshops. So if you're attending in person, you'll be able to go to all 3 workshops. We'll be organising that next week and letting you know which ones you're going to win. That'll be from Owen, Katie and Jessica K. Doyle. And I'll talk a little bit about the workshops once I finish the day. So there'll be workshops, then lunch. And then after lunch, we're going to have Kieran Rose, who's going to be talking about marginalisation, masking and mental health in adulthood. I had a wonderful chat with Kieran a few days ago. If you haven't seen that post, do have a look at it. And then after Kieran, we have Jessica K. Doyle, who'll be exploring perception and explain to us why sensory is so much more than we think it is. And then there's going to be the 3rd workshop of the day. And then, so we'll all go to different rooms for that. And then we'll come back into the main room and we'll have our presentation from Kieran Rose again, which is a practical application and guided discussion. So Kieran's going to I suppose, dismantle things in the first part of his presentation, and then how we talk about how we can rebuild and move forward to a better world, I suppose, really, for autistic people. And then we have a video interview with Max Whelan, who is a non-speaking autistic person who communicates through Spell to Communicate, or S2C, and they'll be sharing their lived experience with us. That's very valuable, obviously, and we want to be sure we are there for that. And then we'll have a little me again closing the conference with something that I haven't decided what it is right now, but it will be a good way to end a conference, I'm sure. So just a little bit more on the workshops on Day 1. So that's the 24th of April in the Osprey Hotel and online. But the workshops are for in-person only, just to be aware of that. The online ticket is for presentations. So Owen is going to run a workshop on using motivational interviewing in counselling with autistic clients. And Katie is going to do a workshop on autistic self-care, how to mind your autistic self. Such an important topic. And then Jessica K. Doyle is going to show a video and a discussion of their short film, When I Grow Up, I Want to Be. And I've seen this video, and it's incredibly moving and honest and raw, and I'm really excited to see what the discussion is around that. And then on day 2, which focuses on the mental health of autistic minors, again, we have a fantastic lineup, so I'll be welcoming everybody to that day. And then Katie Curley will be back again for that day, talking about, again, advocacy and allyship for our autistic young people. And then also we will have Siobhan Idolig. So Siobhan is an autistic primary school teacher, and Siobhan will be talking about authentic autistic inclusion in schools. And that's what we need, authentic inclusion. And Siobhan will be talking more about that. And then we have a break. And then after that, we're going to have some more workshops with Katie, Siobhan and Elaine. And I'll talk about those once I get to the end of the day. So we'll have some workshops. And again, if you're coming in person, you'll be able to go to all 3. And then we'll have lunch. And then after lunch, we have Kieran Rose again. And Kieran will be talking about marginalisation, masking and mental health for children and young people. And then we have Elaine McGreevy, who'll be exploring emotions and supporting development of authentic emotional communication skills. And I'm sure these are going to be absolutely fascinating and wonderful presentations. So again, if you're a parent or carer or you work with autistic children and young people, this is going to be just highly valuable, really, for you and the young people that you work with or parent. And then we have our 3rd round of workshops, and then we come back to the main room for Kieran Rose again, who will talk about practical applications again and hold a guided discussion. And then we have a video interview which we'll be playing from Queeve, who is again a non-speaking member of our community who communicates through S2C, and Queeve will be sharing some valuable insights and advice with us. And then we'll have our closing session. So then let me tell you about the workshops that are happening on day 2. Katie Curley is going to hold a workshop, an interactive workshop on nurturing the autistic child. Siobhan Idolig is going to hold a workshop on reframing challenging behaviour as dysregulation. So this is highly, highly valuable again to anybody working with autistic children and young people. And then Elaine McGreevy is going to run a workshop on creative ways to explore feelings. So I'm so excited about all these workshops. I'm so excited about the whole event. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I really hope that we can, I suppose, really start to change things through this conference or continue changing things with this conference. I hope to see you there. If you want any more information or if you have any questions you feel I haven't answered, just drop me a message or you can email us hello@awesometraining.com. I'm so looking forward to it. It's only 2 weeks away.